One day I had to get dressed. We had a big event to go to. I got invited to a huge event. It was a family event, and everyone was getting dressed up, and we all were trying to pick out our clothes and try to figure out what we're going to wear and how we're going to look and if we're going to match together. And it was a special time of the year for the entire family. And me, being myself and knowing who I am, I always wore these same jeans, these old pair of jeans that I was so comfortable wearing. And I know you can relate to that we have clothes that we just are comfortable wearing all the time. And for me, it was an old pair of jeans, and it was something I always wore. I always wore these old pair of jeans everywhere I went, and it didn't matter where I was going, what I was doing. I love these jeans, and they just fit so great, and you feel comfortable in them. You feel at peace, and you just feel like one with the jeans, and we've all had those pieces of clothing or those items that we've had in our lives or have currently in our lives that gives us that comfort, that sense of belonging and grounding where everything's going to be all right and that the world is okay once we have these comfortable pieces in our lives. And for me, it was the jeans. And, I remember getting up and waking up that morning, and I was going to get dressed, and I had picked out the clothes prior to the night of what I was going to wear. It was a brand new suit with a nice shirt, nice slacks, and nice pants. And when I got up that morning, I actually ended up picking up and putting on the old pair of jeans that I love because I felt comfortable in it. I didn't like what the new pants fit like on me. I didn't like how the shirt fit in the pants and how it was riding up on my legs, and I just didn't feel comfortable in it, but it looked great. So I put the old pair of jeans on, and I actually put on the nice shirt, and then I put on the jacket thinking I could pull this off. And I walked out to ready to leave, and all of my family members were there, and they were like, where's your pants, Rajesh? And I was like, I am wearing pants. What do you mean? And they were like, no, where's the pants? You can't wear the old jeans with this brand new shirt and a brand new jacket and new shoes. And it really is important to understand that we can't constantly keep the old and try to blend it with the new because it just doesn't work out. And I love what it says in the Bible, Mark chapter 2, verse 22. You put your old wine into new wineskins, and what happens is that the wineskins, they fall apart, and then the wine falls out, and it's ruined. So you have to put new wine into new wineskins so that it can be together. So really what it is what that verse is saying is that you can't blend the old wine with the brand new wine in new wineskins because it's just going to fall apart. It's going to contaminate the brand new. And this is what my pants were doing, my jeans were doing, and it was something that I had to let go. So, today I really want to talk to you about new living and new thinking. And it's important because we all have doubts and we all have disbelief of, is God really there? And does he really have something great for us, prepared for us in our life? And I wanted to share with you that this is a new season, and what's happened in the past is over and done. It's over and done. We can't bring that past back. We can't try to reenact the past. It's over and done. So it's time to set a new vision for our life. It's time to set a new level of thinking, a new level of expectation, where we can step forward and progress and step into what God has promised us. And when I speak to people all around the world, I always start talking about this, and you could see it resonating with people on the inside, and people really get aligned with that spirit and what God's word is. But then oftentimes we have all of these doubts of belief that come over us into our life, it starts with our thinking. And our thinking kind of goes like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I don't think I have what it takes. Or I don't think this year is going to be a good year because the economy is looking so horrible. Or I don't think I'll ever get better because of that health report that the doctor gave me last week. Or I don't think I'll ever get married because I've been single for so long and there's just no hope for me. I'm never getting married. And these doubts of belief and doubts of uncertainty come bombarding and defeats us in our mind. But when we focus in our attention on the Lord and what he has given us and what his promises commanded us in our lives, then we will start taking in some of that fruit and then start presenting that with new thinking and new believing in what God is in store for us. So today, it's a new way of thinking and letting go of the past and setting a new standard, a new level of expectation that you can become better, that you can start picking yourself up from where you're at and start progressing forward, that life doesn't have to be lived defeated and live with uncertainty and live feeling like there's no hope and future in the world. And it's so spiritually sound that God has given us our promises and given us the Spirit and the glory within us in our lives. You know, there was another incident where we were with the family and we were making this huge elaborate cake. And I remember it. We were putting all of these great ingredients in. We're going to make this great cake for this birthday party for one of my family members. And you know, we were all like thinking about how we're going to design it and how is it going to look and how big is it going to be and what are we going to put on it, icing and toppings and what flavors and all that great stuff. And we had this huge plan. And one of the ingredients were to get milk and to put it into the cake and mix it in. So I went into the fridge and I saw there were 2 cartons of milk in the fridge. There was one that was a couple days expired, and then there was a brand new fresh carton of milk. So I took them both out and I put it on the counter. And my friend at the time was making the cake, and they ended up taking the old milk and putting it in to the cake, not knowing it was expired. And then they ended up taking the fresh milk and pouring in the rest of the ingredients to make the cake. Can you guess what happened with that cake after we were done making it? Yeah, you guessed it. It just didn't taste right. It didn't taste like it was supposed to taste, because what happened was we mixed the old wine, the old milk, in with the brand new wine, with the brand new milk, and we thought that it would make everything brand new. The same thing that when I wore my old jeans with my brand new shirt, my brand new jacket, and my brand new shoes, I thought that I could make those jeans brand new. You see, God wants to give us brand new things in our life. He has preordained these gifts into our lives. And when we understand that, we get excited, but unfortunately we have these old mentality of thinking and believing, and we need to get rid of that. We need to get rid of the thoughts that are defeating us and that are saying that we're not going to ever be good enough, we're not going to be pretty enough, we're not going to be smart enough, we don't have the right talents and abilities in order to do the task at hand. And we need to bring in the brand new wine and put it into brand new wineskins. Take in the brand new milk and put it into the cake, and not mix the old thinking, the old milk into the cake, because that is ultimately what's going to poison and pollute the cake, the beautiful outfit, the brand new wineskins. It's going to pollute it. The old thinking, the old expired thoughts and beliefs are always going to pollute the brand new thoughts and beliefs that what has God given us every single day of our life. So in Exodus 33, there's a really good, strong, incredible story about God and Moses. And it's just a powerful story because here it is, God is commanding and gave Moses the responsibility and the glory to lead 2 million rebellious people through the wilderness. God gave Moses that responsibility, and Moses was like, okay, God, thank you for that amazing responsibility, but who are you going to send with me? And God was like, I'm not going to send anybody with you. You're going to do it. And Moses was like, okay, well, thank you for all of that, but I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can live up to that calling. I don't think I have what it takes, Lord. Please help me. I need your help. I need to know that you're there. I don't know about you, but I know that God has called me to do something much more larger, to live larger for just myself in this world, in this life. And there's a lot of times where I am like, man, Lord, you've called me to do these things, but I don't know if I have what it takes. I don't know if I can live up to your standards. I don't know if I could glorify you and take on that responsibility. I don't think I have it. I don't know if I have it. I need to know if you are there, Lord, and I need to know your presence is here. And the incredible story, what God told Moses in Exodus 33 was, he's like, Moses, my glory will be with you. My presence will be with you. All you need is my glory and my presence. That's it. That's all you will ever need. And Moses was like, okay, God, I hear you, but I need to see it. I need to know that you are real. I need to know that you are with me on this. I don't have what it takes. And I know I've been there. I know you've been there. And then the incredible story is what God does. What does he do? He says, okay, Moses, I will show you a little glimpse of it. Just a little glimpse, because if I showed you all of it, you would not even be alive. It would be so awesome and so magnificent that you would not be alive. You could not even handle it. And Moses is like, okay, but please. And so God commands Moses to go up into the mountain, and he says, wait there, and I will show you and give you a little glimpse. And he does. And that, that's so powerful because, back in 2006 when Easter Sunday was actually, and before Easter Sunday 2006, I was in that same place, and I teach this and I tell this, my story, my testimony to people around the world about this. And, intellectually we know that God's presence, and we know that his glory and who we are and what we're here on this world to do. We have a sense of belonging and calling, but we can't quite put a thumb on it. That's why we cry out all the time. That's why we pray. That's why we doubt all the time. And for me, in 2005, 2006, I was in that place where Moses was at. And I didn't know what God wanted me to do. I didn't know where I was going. I felt the calling in my life. I felt God commanding me to do these things and said, Rajesh, I want you to lay down your burdens, lay down your struggles, lay down all your doubts and your inadequacies and your broken pieces that you're trying to hold together and mask. And I want you to lay them down at the cross. I want you to give them to me, man. And I want you to trust me, and let me fight on your behalf. Let me do it for you. You don't have to do it all by yourself. And it was miraculous. Because for so many years, I fought to be strong. I thought I had to be strong. I had to put on this armor because I'm disabled and people judge me right off the bat. And I thought I couldn't let people in because I would be hurt and that people will criticize me and ridicule me and tell me that I'm not good enough, because that's what I believed in. That's what people told me all throughout my life for years and years and years and years and years. And that was just ingrained, that I was not going to be good enough, that I did not have the qualifications and the authority to stand up and speak God's word, to live a life with no limitations, to live a life that's free, that's without any kind of restrictions, and live above circumstances. And he said, Rajesh, I'm going to be with you, but you have to lay these pieces down. You have to trust me. My glory, my presence is going to be all that you ever need. And, I was going through a lot of hard times back in 2005, 2004. My relationship had ended with this girl that I loved. I cared about her so much. And she just brought so much to the table and just helped me to add value to me and myself, and helped me feel like I was significant, that I could be loved, and that there was someone that actually loved me, that cared about me, that wanted to spend their time with me and just get to know me on a deeper level, to see me at my worst. And I felt like when that ended, I felt like that my heart was ripped out, because I needed that love to fill the holes and the gaps that I had in my life. And the truth of the matter is that I had built that person up to be everything for me. And I had abandoned my first true love, the author and the creator and the visionary of my life, which is God. And I had abandoned him. I didn't even know him. But yet I abandoned him. And it was a rude awakening in my life. And when God intervened and said, you know what? You've had your play. You've had your moment. I am here now. I've been searching for you for so long. I've been waiting for you for so long. I've been trying to get your attention, Rajesh, but yet you've been trying to do all these things to add value, to add significance, to feel like you're worth something. And I've been here, and I've been giving it to you, and I want to give it to you. But here I am. And he took those pieces away. He took that relationship away. But yet I still fought And I still said, no, I could do this on my own. I know what I need. I know the things that I want, and I know the things that to get me back on the right track. And oftentimes we think we know what we want. We think we know what we need, but we don't have a clue at all. Every single person is searching and trying to find significance and value and add value to people and feel loved and feel accepted and feel at home and at peace where they're not at strife and anger and feeling like they have to go and keep on accomplishing things in order to add value, to feel significant and feel loved in the world. And, it's one of those things where you could just lay it all down. And that's what I did. I laid it all down. Finally, after I had failed relationships, after I tried to commit suicide, after I tried to give up everything that I had, after I just stopped trying, stopped fighting, but lo and behold, God was fighting, Jesus was fighting for me, and he was there all the time. I'm sorry I'm getting so emotional because this is the truth. This is what I live. This is the moment that he intervened and that transformation took place. And he was just fighting on my behalf. Even as much as I was running away from him, he was always there fighting and reaching out his hand and saying, no, I'm always here. I'm here with you. So in 2006, in Easter Sunday, I was in New York. I was living in New York at the time. And I was just rock bottom. And it's amazing how Jesus intervenes when we're at rock bottom. And that's where we find him. That's where he finds us. That's where we reach up and we say, okay, Lord, I've tried everything and I've failed, and none of this is adding any kind of value or any kind of significance. I'm a failure. I'm just a reject. I don't have what it takes to sustain and to get through the challenges in life. I need your help. And if you listen to people's testimonies, you will hear time and time again people coming to Christ, transforming because of they've hit the bottom, rock bottom, below rock bottom. And now all they have to turn to is Jesus. And that solid principle, biblical principle, is what gets people to do things. And to do things not just worldly standards, but to be over and above everything in the world. To lead people, win souls, to have salvation in their life. Above and foremost of anything you can give yourself, money, possessions, relationships, luxuries, anything you can give yourself. And that there's a deep sense rooted of peace and power that comes within you from the Spirit. So in 2006, I gave my life to Christ. And I said, Lord, I'm laying this all down, and this is all for you. Use me however you want to use me, and let me be an instrument, a vessel. Put me to places where you want me to go. Let me do things according to what you want me to do. I cannot do it on my own. I don't want to do these things on my own. And just like Moses was like, okay, Lord, you've called me, but I need to know you're here. I need to know your presence is real. Show me your glory, Lord. Show me that you're here. Show me that you are with me. And I asked the same things in 2006. I said, show me that you're real, Lord. Show me that you're here. And he started to do that, just like Moses. He was like, I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to show you little glimpses because it's going to be so miraculous, you're not even going to even understand it. And he did. He showed me little glimpses, just like he showed Moses. And he showed me that he's real. He showed me that he is always with us, and he's always with our trials and tribulations and our setbacks and our challenges and even in our highs when we're on top of the mountain, that his glory and his presence will always be there with us, and that this is all that we need. So you're probably asking, what was God doing? What's God doing then when he shows us his glory, when he shows us that he's there? What is he doing when he's doing this with Moses, when he's like, okay, go to the mountaintop and I'll show you my glory, and I'll keep on showing it to you over and over again? Well, what God's doing is he's saying, look back in Eden, in the Garden of Eden, when God created man, he was like, I created you for my glory. I created you to show people, to show the world that I am real, and this is who I am. And he did that with Moses. He said, look at Moses' face. Can't you see that this guy reflects my glory? Can't you see his shining face, Moses' shining face, reflecting God's glory? Can't you see that I created you for me so that you can glorify me? That's what God's doing. That's what he's doing in your life. And he does that in your life when you honor him in the smallest of things, in the largest of things, no matter what you are doing it for God's glory, because you are created to glorify him. You are created to honor him. And when God does not get that glory, he does it with Moses, and he brings it into him in a man, and he shows people. And what does Moses do? He continuously goes up and down the mountain to see God's glory, comes back down, and reflects his shining example, God's glory shining on his face throughout all across the world. As Christians, that is what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to be reflecting God's glory around the entire world. Everybody has that built in them. Everybody has God's glory in them. If you don't know if you are shining God's glory, ask the people that are closest around you and see if they see the difference of God's glory shining through you. So Moses, it's so good because this is such an incredible story of what God's doing with Moses and how he's shining his glory and showing people that he is real and that we're supposed to honor him. So a lot of times we see this and we have these reconfirmations, and I can really attest to that because when I came back from Africa this year, releasing our Beyond Boundaries film, I came back and I was like, okay, Lord, I did my part. Show me that you're real. Show me that you're here. And he reconfirms it again. And oftentimes we think that we have to continuously have people around us in order to take these leaps of faith, to take these steps into the unknown, because we have this sense of fear, of doubt, that our old wineskins, our old thinking is holding us back, and we're constantly trying to get through and break through to that and let go of the old and step into the brand new. And God does this miraculously again with Moses while they're on that journey. And you know it when Moses reaches the Red Sea, right? And he is looking at the Red Sea, and according to the natural, it looks impossible to cross. The Red Sea is raging, and there's 2 million of doubters and rebellious people that are following Moses, and they get to this Red Sea, and Moses is like, okay, well, how are we going to do this? But by faith, he picks up a stick on the ground, and he lifts that up into the air, and he says, this is going to part the sea. And what does God do? He miraculously parts the sea. And then the people cross untouched with the water. So what does that tell you? What is God telling us? Is that no matter how impossible it may look, no matter how big it may seem, that never underestimate God's glory. Never underestimate what you have around you. Never underestimate your abilities and your talents and your skills. That God, when He is ready to breathe into your life, in your direction, that there are things that are going to happen in your life that no man can ever even comprehend. And He has done it for you time and time again. And if you sit back and think about all the miraculous things that should have not worked out in your life, but ended up working out perfectly and according to good and been glorifying the Lord, you will see that God has done these things and consistently breathed into your life to do things and to make you become all that you are supposed to become, to glorify Him. So when Moses did that, the Red Sea parted and then everybody crossed. So never underestimate what you have and what you think it will take in order to have the glory of God around you in your life. So I always like to also think about Exodus 34. And, God always gives us His promise and His commandment because this is what we hold on to. And even though we are going through this life where we don't know if we're going to even make it to the end or if we're going to even have what it takes to glorify the Lord because of the calling He's given us in our life, God gives us that promise in this incredible story in Exodus 34. He says, I will do wonders before any nation, right, in all of the world. So don't rest in the power of what you can do. Rest in the power of the Spirit. So God says that. He says, I will do wonders never seen before in all of the world, in every nation. And He tells that to Moses. And He says, don't worry, Moses. I will do this. I will be with you. I will do these wonders for you that no one can ever comprehend. Just like how when Moses picked up that stick and God breathed life into that direction, and then the sea supernaturally parted. It's the same thing how God showed Moses his glory time and time again, shining. His face was a shining example so that Moses can reflect that into the world. He wants to do that with you in your life. And we have to always remember that we cannot rest in the Spirit and the power of our own free will. God has given us the tools and the resources. He's given us Moses in that incredible story to show us that we can glorify him in the smallest of things and in the largest of things, that every single thing that we do is to show honor and to show glory that how awesome God is. So back in 2006, when I took that transformation and I gave my life to Christ, it was everything that I did was to glorify the Lord. No matter what it was, I was doing it to glorify the Lord, large or small. And a lot of people didn't understand that, and I was waiting for a lot of people to help me, but I knew and I felt in my heart that the Lord had commanded me to do something, to live above what my calling was for my personal life, to live larger than that. And he did that by helping me start Live Free. And now, as you know, Live Free is all across the world. We're in 4 continents, and it's traveled and it's gone through grassroots efforts to the remote parts of the world. And through this platform, through that vision, through feeling like a Moses, I've been able to inspire and lead people to Christ and to do miraculous things all across the world that no one's ever seen before. So those promises in Exodus and the miraculous story, an incredible story with Moses and God, that's true. And that's not just for me, that's for you. God's glory and his power is a shining example for you. He has created you back in the Garden of Eden for his glory, and he wants to honor you, and he wants you to glorify him, and he wants to give you these tools and these resources. So take off the old thinking, take off the old wineskins, put on the brand new thinking, a brand new attitude. It's time for a brand new level of expectation, a brand new level of expectancy, a brand new level of dreams, of desires and goals. There's no time to think about what should have been and could have been, should have been, but let's think about what's going to be, will be, and can be. So I hope I served you well with all that. I don't ever rest in the spirit of Rajesh, Durbal. I don't ever rest in that spirit. I rest in the spirit of the God Almighty and the glory of God, because with that spirit, you can do all things. And that is just a living example and proof. So I hope that this message for Easter Sunday has totally inspired you, and that you're going to live for God's glory, and you're going to release the old wineskins, the old thinking, and pick up a brand new thinking, a brand new attitude, because the best is still yet to come, and you have come way too far and come way too long to settle for anything less. So I'll see you guys out there. You live with passion, live with purpose, and live free, live amazingly.